audio house doubling.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Sold Out podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Do you want to introduce yourselves, young men in the building?
Of course. August Alexander, BoyW1DR, the Irish WonderBoy. Come on.
He backed out 3 names. I'm just UD.
Yeah, so how's it going, man? How was last night? You just performed at Culture Night.
Yeah, last night was amazing, man. The city really showed, they really came out and showed love.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
It looked nuts.
Yeah, shout out to Culture Night, District, Red Bull, everyone who's a part of that.
Everybody, Everybody. What was the crack with that? You were talking just before we started about this competition with like posters up there.
Oh yeah, so it was actually crazy. So basically, our manager, he's the manager of Fire Collective. His name is Kato. He's an artist as well, and he basically had this idea that we were gonna print out like little posters. It was gonna have like the cover art, and then the scanning thing on Spotify at the bottom. And he's like, we're just gonna put it at landmarks all over. But he was like, we'll put it up after the show's done, because we wanted to watch Pat's set and Celavid May's set, and we heard Rickshaw was performing with Pat as well, right? Sweet. So he was like, but say it in the context of they're already out, because nobody's gonna look now, right? So I was like, yeah, sure, nobody's gonna look now. Like, who am I for people? Am I Drake? Like, the people are running around for like some OVO merch or something. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, just say that they're out now and we'll do them after. And I was like, cool. So I announced it. People went crazy, but the moment I stepped off from my set, it was like 5, 10, 15 minutes after, I was getting DMs of people saying that they looked everywhere. They went all across Dublin City and were looked. They went to GPO, the Spire. They went everywhere and they couldn't find anything. And I had to be like, they're not actually out yet. But yeah, of course I can get you some. I can get you some of the merch. But yeah, the city shows so much love, man. So much love.
Yeah, it looks sick. It's kind of inspiring to see Culture Night like take over, just like after like the closing of Bernard Shaw and like all the stuff happening that just made Dublin seem really grim. But like last night looked like serious crack. Like,
it was really good.
But yeah, how's everything going with the Irish WonderBoy?
Everything is going amazing, man. I dropped it on Friday, well, Thursday midnight, Friday midnight, whatever. And the reception has just been amazing. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Some people are calling it a masterpiece. I like Star Wars, and I made a album theme, and I just put out some tracks, man. But people are really liking it, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. That's sick, man. So am I right? The only single would have been Demons leading up to it.
Yeah. The only single that I dropped was Demons.
Yeah. Because that was a strong track on its own, but it's cool to hear, as you said, like in the context of the album. Then it kind of like fits in a lot more.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about it because I'm not sure. I had the idea for the intro. Was the intro done when I released the Demons single? I think they were done. I think the intro was done, but I think I didn't release it with the intro because I wanted it to just have like I wanted it to be replayable, standalone, and just have like streams. But I didn't really realize that it might be vague without the intro kind of like explaining it into the whole thing. But yeah, I liked what it did. I liked how the single went.
I think it would have piqued people's curiosity in that way.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, you were releasing singles for so long that it's longest. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, necessarily I wasn't even like expecting the EP, do you know what I mean? It kind of like snuck up from when you announced it. How long would you say like you started working on it, or when did the concept start?
I think the first song was done for the EP, I think it was like early April, late March, something like the first song was done. I had a few concepts that I wanted to go through, but I didn't actually put them together. I had like 2 songs done already, and then I thought about the theme, and I thought about whether or not those 2 songs. I think it was No More and it was Watch Me, and I knew the theme would be something to do with coming into yourself as an artist and kind of like the growth from like starting to like blowing up. I think that's how I wanted it to be. I went through some themes. I went through some like superhero themes and stuff like that, like Boy Wonder type thing. But no, eventually I settled on the Irish WonderBoy theme, the one that you actually hear. Yeah, I want to say early June, late June, something like that. And then I just put the rest of the songs together. I made the rest of the songs. I recorded them, mixed mastered them, and I put them all together. I put the intros on there and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's sick, man. Yeah, because it fits really cohesively together. Like when you're going from song to song, and it's like a nice digestible. Like I was happy to see you went for like 7 tracks, because like I just feel like it's a lot more like digestible, especially for like a debut EP. It's just nice to go in and like hear it all and like get out and like just have that replayability, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That was one thing that that was actually his idea, you know. I was gonna do a lot more tracks, but he was like, bro, like just keep,
because I know you have it in you to, like,
exactly.
to
No, I wanted to show people that I could drop a lot more tracks.
I was like, yo, let me hit you with like 11, 9. I was like, relax.
Yeah, exactly. And there was actually a thing they were talking about. We were like, I think on Spotify, if it's less than 7 tracks, less than 30 minutes or something like that, it'll be in the EP section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But if it's more than 6, if it's 7 and it's more than 30 minutes, then it's in the album section.
Interesting.
I knew that I wanted it to stand apart, so I knew I wanted it in the album section.
Yeah,
but if you actually listen to it, the runtime is like 19 minutes, seconds. So even though there's 7 songs on there, I felt like I got my message across.
For sure.
Really, I thought it was really concise, and it wasn't too long of a listen. Like because he actually said it to me earlier. He was like, something. It was really interesting. He was like, when you're about to listen to an EP or a project, you kind of set aside like 40 minutes to an hour just to digest the whole thing.
Yeah.
So once you spent 40 minutes to an hour listening, you realize you've listened to my EP like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. Is like kind of like sneaks up on you in that way. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I should get paid for this shit.
He should really get
management.
paid.
Yeah, I need to get paid. Yeah.
Get your credits on there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gas. But like I remember even like thinking, like I don't know if you listen, like, you know, like when XXX dropped like 17,
yeah.
and like I remember when that dropped, and like when that was like 20 minutes, I was like real disappointed. Because like looking back on it now, it's like it's definitely the way to go. Yeah, so like where do you find like the best kind of like inspiration, like song wise and stuff? Because it seems like you're like a little bit more like personal on this album and stuff.
Yeah, inspiration song wise, I felt like in terms of what's actually on there, the inspiration kind of like I wanted to tell the story. So basically, I'll probably explain it a little bit later, but like I wanted to basically tell the story of the journey of how I felt like an artist in Ireland would like blow up. And in telling the story, the story is kind of like a little bit, it goes off on some parts, and obviously it's not like an easy road. Like the character that I made, his road to fame isn't actually easy. Like if you listen to songs like I Ain't Safe and No More, like in Before I Blow, it's basically like a letter to the listener to basically not let him lose his mind. But then literally the moment the second song hits, when it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, lift off, immediately he's like, I told Shawty, don't be mad, but I don't love him no more. He's already lost it. He's let the money get to his head and stuff like that. So essentially the inspiration was that I felt like in telling the story, my story won't go like that.
I get you.
So that's kind of why I wanted to do it for my debut EP. I wanted to actually just throw some songs together originally, but I felt like I wanted to tell the story so that my journey would be a lot smoother. So that's kind of where I got inspired to.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the move. Like, yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting too, because like when you're talking about like, it's almost like you're like journaling, but like sort of, like as you say, like making sure you don't go down that path. Exactly. It's like a self-reminder.
Exactly.
Which is interesting. But yeah, even like in terms of like, say, like when do you find yourself like most like inspired? Like, is it just like when you have like certain conversations, or like just like when do you ever like take the time out to like write, or is it like just an ongoing?
Yeah, I take the time out to write. A lot of the times, like I find beats first before I write. So I feel like I need to sit down and take the time out and be like, okay, I'm gonna look for beats and then I'm gonna start writing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, like I know that there's some artists who like they'll think of something that they'll want to say, and then I'll look for a beat that kind of feels the same, that fits the mood that I was kind of in, and then I'll write what it is that I wanted to say. Do you know what I mean? So like if we're going on type beats and I'm experiencing some like heartbreak stuff, I'm not gonna go to like I don't know, like a Migos type beat or something crazy. I'm gonna look for a Juice WRLD.
Exactly.
Start singing. You know what I mean? So kind of like that. But yeah, I'd have to set the time aside to start writing. I need to look for beats. I need to think of what I want to say. And stuff like that. It's a process.
Yeah. And so likewise with actually the beats on the project. So who's on production? So you got LHK.
LHK is probably the only. LHK is the only Irish producer. I have songs from I think almost every Irish producer. I have songs from LHK, Tunes on Tick, ODZ, Kid Spiral. Kid Spiral on Twitter is crazy. But yeah, I have songs from almost every Irish producer. It's just that they didn't fit the concept of the EP.
Stacked roster out, like, in the vault.
Yeah, those people are amazing at what they do, man. Every single one of them, Tunes, ODZ, Kid Spiral, LHK, they are amazing.
They are like, it's nuts, like. Because even like my introduction to him was like on Taxi Club, and I went up to the listening party for that up in like Button Factory.
Yeah,
like,
I think that was the first time I ever saw you actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I went to the
that's
listening
right.
party for that as well. Yeah,
I think you just dropped like Nightcrawler probably around that time.
Yeah, I think I just dropped I'd actually just dropped Nightcrawler, and I remember because my first introduction to him was literally Location, and that was the first song that him and Obi actually did together. And I think I made, after I heard like I think it was Location or something like that, because for the longest time I knew what kind of like type of beats that I wanted to go for and what type of sound that I wanted to craft. And when I heard Location, before I heard Location, I didn't really know of any Irish producers who were capable of making that type of sound. If it was trap music, it was like a different type of trap or whatever kind of music, or more boom bap style beats. So when I found him and I found Location and he was working really closely with Obi doing what they were doing, that's when I was like, oh wow, there actually are producers who can make this. So that's when I first linked up with him and I made Sleeping. And then I made Last Night and Nightcrawler and so on and so forth. So that's how my relationship with him started. But yeah, he's super talented.
Sick, man. Yeah, no, he's an absolute beast. So were the rest of the tracks, were they kind of like type beats or just like random like
they were type beats, but there was no kind of, I felt like the type beats were kind of like more of like a mood that I was going for, as opposed to any specific artist that I searched or anything like that. So I just knew that I didn't want it to be too like, I wanted the story and like the atmosphere to more come from the intros and like what I was saying, because obviously if you listen to the beats, they might not sound like spacey type beats and have like sounds like sound effects or anything like that in them, except for maybe like 4 a.m. where I wanted to have like one in there, like it's just the concept. But I just kind of looked for any beat that would fit what I was trying to say, and then I made it tie in terms of like what I'm actually saying and the intros and stuff like that.
I think the intros are a big part in like how they like flow together. It seems real. It almost feels like it is all one producer. Like, you know what I mean? It was only when the LHK tag came in, I was like, wait a minute, like,
do you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Like,
shout out Adeze. She's a member of Fire. She dropped a song like a few weeks ago with another member of Fire, Backpack Blue, and she's the voice. She's the voice.
I was gonna ask.
She's the voice of Daisy. She's super super talented. So big shout out to her for helping me lay down the vocals at the beginning.
That's awesome. Like, did you, how was like the process, like scripting that? Like, cause when you have the concept, then was it like tough was it like kind of weird going into like the story? Like,
it was weird in the sense of, so like, for example, like a lot of stuff that a lot of the Fire members do, we kind of run it by the other Fire members just to make sure nothing's like nothing's going to be bad because we're all super talented, but like just to make sure nothing's corny and just to make sure it's all concise and gets to the point straight away. So I wrote mine immediately, and one of the artists in Fire, Denny Valentino, he has a home setup, so I got her to record them there, and I sent them into the Fire group chat. And it was our manager, Debo. Debo was like, I can see where you're trying to go with this, but it doesn't really fit what you're trying to do, so you should make these kind of tweaks here. So he kind of made her, at the beginning, she was meant to be sort of like a consciousness, so it was more organic conversation that we were having in the intros. But he was like, to suit the space thing, make her your AI. Make her more of an AI, give her more of like a robotic voice, more of like a, like kind of like, you know, don't make it a conversation. Impersonal, exactly. But also personal what she's saying, but not how she's saying it and stuff like that, and the words that she's using. So then we switched it up and we actually recorded it, and that's how it came to how it is now.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. And like, can you think back to like, you know, when you would have first started like releasing singles, did you always have like the idea of like a project in your head? Like, I guess you would, but like, did you ever think you'd actually sort of like get to that point when you first started releasing music?
100%, even because my name wasn't always Boy Wonder. My name was Boy Wonder when I released like Sleeping, but I had a different name. But I knew that I wanted to rebrand, and I knew that I wanted my brand. So I knew that I wanted my brand and my name to hold so much more weight than it did before.
That's interesting. So
like, when I decided on the name Boy Wonder, I had so many ideas. I had like clothing line, like this, like. You're gonna see a lot more question marks. Essentially, I had the idea of the question marks. Even if I go back now into explaining Boy Wonder's name is essentially you know, Batman and Robin. Obviously. So Robin's nickname is Boy Wonder because he was 12. Batman was like 30, 40, but he was fighting the Joker. He was fighting Penguin. He was defeating like enemies that they were. So it's kind of like an underdog story. Like, even though he's young, don't look down on him because this is the Boy Wonder type thing. So that's where I essentially got my name from. And at the same time, I felt like I came to Dublin for 5th class. So a lot of the friends, I came from Limerick when I first came to here. I was in Limerick. So I felt like I lost a lot of the friends that I started growing up with. So I felt like I was kind of like, no one really knew me until I became Boy Wonder. Kind of like how no one knows Clark Kent, but they know Superman. Do you know what I mean? So I had like even a whole like superhero theme tied to the name that I was gonna do that I might still do much later on. But like right now, I settled on the space theme because that's more what I like as opposed to what the name forces me to do. Yeah. So I rebranded BoyW1DR, obviously the question marks and stuff like that. I just the name really it holds a lot of weight now. Basically. So when I rebranded and I started making music, that I knew where I was gonna go from the start. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, because it fits in then even to the concept and the EP so well and stuff. Yeah, that's sick, man. And like, what can you say the name before? Was it like?
Oh no, not at all. Because if I say the name before, that means you find the old music, and that's impossible.
Is it still up?
It shouldn't be. I took it down off my SoundCloud, but I think there might still be some YouTube videos out there.
That's hilarious, man.
But nah,
that's part of the growth, I guess. You know,
it's part of the growth. Yeah, it was. But I was like I was doing some like lyrical miracle. I was like, spitting. There was no melodies. There was nothing like that. Nah.
Were you listening to like different type of shit? Like what caused the shift?
Yeah, I was like. Kendrick was probably the only rapper that I was listening to, and Kendrick and Isaiah Rashad. Isaiah Rashad is probably my favorite artist right now. Well, Kanye's probably, in my opinion, the best rapper of all time, but Isaiah Rashad is probably my favorite artist of all time. So I was kind of like rapping, like spitting, like Kendrick and Isaiah. I still listen to so much Isaiah, but a lot less Kendrick now. Yeah. Now I listen to like a lot of the like melodic new stuff that's coming out. But so the shift was essentially just the music that I liked, people weren't making back then. The music that I liked back then is what I was listening to. But then when I started actually delving into hip hop and the new up and coming artists, not just the Kendrick, Drake, Cole, I discovered Travis Scott. I discovered 88 Glam, Nav, A Boogie, artists like Juice WRLD, like artists like that who incorporate a lot more melodies and singing, which is what I kind of always wanted to do. When I discovered them, then that's when like my whole what I wanted to do in music,
literally like
just switched
aesthetic,
completely.
sonics,
Aesthetic,
like
sonics,
like,
everything. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's sick, man. It's like it shows that like I don't know, like I don't know, I think it's like clever like to rebrand, like really think about it from like that point of view, like and know where you want to go with it. Because even the like that on that EP, it's also like ambitious and like you're already sort of like projecting like that like international star, like you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do you have any like inspirations in terms of like come up stories or anything that like sort of inspired it? Or is it just sort of like your own like sort of visions? Like,
interestingly enough, I don't have any inspirations on the come up story because the EP is essentially how I feel a come up story would happen from here. It's generally how it happens from everywhere. Like, so basically to explain it, it starts with Before I Blow. Before I Blow is like a letter to the listener. Basically, don't make me go insane. Don't cancel me. If I make mistakes, I've been the same person from the beginning. So like, don't be surprised if I'm the same person when I'm older in terms of whatever. Then No More immediately takes off. He probably has his first hit single or something like that. So he's starting to like do kind of well.
Pop off.
Demons is like when you're starting to pop off, people start looking at you differently. Whether it's like they want money or they're a little bit jealous or whatever. I Ain't Safe is the jealousy. Like now that you're a big artist, you can't actually go to where you used to go because people are looking at you differently. You know what I mean? And then Watch Me, Gonna Make It Big, Just Watch Me. Like he's heading towards wanting to become an international superstar. And then Talk to Me Nice, I have Nestle on there, who's an American artist, which kind of ties in the whole international superstar because I have an international feature from there. And then it ends with 4 a.m. And for 4 a.m. it's kind of like a letter to kind of like Ireland that like, it's 4 a.m. baby, why you keep on calling me? I gotta go, I gotta stack and get my meals like me. So it's kind of like, I haven't forgotten where I came from, but I just like, this is my dream. This is what I set out to do. So I'm not gonna forget about you, but like, I need to do what I need to do, essentially like that. So it's kind of like there's no come up story that kind of inspired that. That's just how I feel like it would go. If it was to happen, because there are a lot of big artists. Obviously, there's the likes of Hair Squad, Reggie Snow, Maverick Sabre, who are Irish artists who are huge. But I don't think there's any who have touched international like worldwide status yet. So that's how I feel like it would go. Scale, like, exactly.
It's crazy. Like I always think like in terms of like what they have in the UK, where it's like look how big like BoyW1DR now is, or like all that shit. Like it's only like less than 40 minutes across. Like, you know, it's nuts. Like, what do you think? Like, I don't know. Like maybe like Dublin needs like more of, or like, what do you think? Like maybe our flaw is.
What Dublin needs more of is. I was watching this thing actually. It was what's that thing? It was they're like they're on, I think they're either on Boiler Room.
Gasworks.
Gasworks. It's either Gasworks or it's no, it's on Link Up. You know that guy Lippy? And he reviewed J1's thing.
Hilarious.
So he was saying that the reason, so we're looking at the UK, right? But I feel like a lot of times the UK are looking at the US. So we're saying how can we be big like the UK, and the UK is saying how can we be bigger like the US. But what they're saying is exactly what we should be saying. So he was like, the reason is because there's no, and I was saying this earlier, is that I don't feel like people are critical enough of music. I feel like there's a lot of allowances being made because like we're a budgeting scene or whatever, but like I don't necessarily feel like that should be the case. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if like, let's say I wanted to play professional football, right? And let's say I'm not as, let's say I'm 18, but I want to be playing with like, I want to be on Real Madrid. No one's saying, oh, but you're 18, look at where he was when he was 18. You need to be there now to make this team. So you need to be as good. You need to be a certain level to make this team right now.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter where you are in your stage of life. If you want to be here, you need to be this good. So I feel like in terms of like mixing, production, whatever it is that you're talking about on the song, how good it sounds just in general, regardless of all of that, it needs to be at a certain standard. And I feel like people need to be critical of music that is coming out. Like I said earlier, like one of my favorite things is when people give me like constructive criticism, because telling me it's great doesn't really tell me how to improve. And I know I'm not perfect now, nowhere near it, and I know I need to get better. So if you say that, oh yeah, the EP is perfect, there's absolutely no flaws on it, whatever, then how am I supposed to make a better one later? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of like what like we need in terms of scene. What do you think?
I actually agree with that 100%, but also I feel like you need more supports. Because like people like Sold Out or like District now, they're really cool at what they do, but we need more Sold
for
Outs.
Sure.
Because like if the Irish hip hop scene is not like it's the smallest, but it's the least covered,
for sure,
it's very hard to get people to get bigger than people like Hair Squad or like Reggie Snow or something. Because then you only have faces for a scene instead of a lot of faces represent the diverse sound of the scene. Because in my opinion, like Irish hip hop is the most diverse type of music in Ireland.
There's so much.
Like it's not even like the songs are just good. There's a lot of quality songs that are better than the songs you hear in other countries.
Literally,
but
like
they can't run up the streams to be known because you can't cover music just by yourself.
Exactly.
Like organic growth only goes so far, I feel. But like I feel like there's a lot more like bigger platforms like maybe like an RTE can actually do on a regular basis. I was
gonna say, because like I feel like people who already know will follow like people like us or like even District and stuff, but you need that like mass sort of like even like the odd tracks like getting like radio.
It's kind of like, you know, like years ago you do like for like and follow shit. But at one point you realize I'm not gaining any new followers because if I share his thing and he shares mine, we've already reached our biggest circle. But people like RTE or anything can reach out past what we are able to do ourselves.
Exactly,
Like that's basically kind of, I guess.
And another thing, I feel like one other thing is that like if you go to the likes of America and the likes of the UK, the biggest magazines or reporters or whatever are always looking for the new talent. They have their ears to the streets. Like even look at the XXL freshman list. Like XXL is probably like one of the biggest hip hop magazines, and they literally have like the biggest thing that they do is display the new upcoming talent. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like RTE, Joe.ie, just like this, I don't even know, Irish Times.
I know, right?
Like they'll do like maybe an article here and there, but more time it's on like Jafaris or Hair Squad or Reggie Snow or artists who we already know. Like we know Tebby Rex are amazing. We know that, but we know who Tebby Rex are. But who's the new guy from Blanchardstown who's making amazing music? Do you know what I mean? Who's the new guy from here? Who's the new guy from there? Like,
all over.
Like, you get me? Who's coming up? Who we actually should keep our eyes on because we might not already know about them. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the things that we also need.
For sure.
I feel like they do that to show that they're edgy, like they're cool.
I know, right?
It's not like they actually care. Because you ever read some of the articles and they're like, it's like a little copy and paste. You can make like spacey trap music. And they're like, the lyricism was on point. No, it wasn't. What was it? It was like years ago when there was like, who was it? Rosangano family won something. The picture was Hair Squad.
Oh no way!
Shit like some that. Of the stuff is crazy, and you can even because like for example, one of the things is also like when I was dropping like last night and sleeping and stuff like that, there was only a few. Like when because I get covered a little bit by like magazine, like obviously by you guys do your thing, you get Madfield and District and stuff like that. But there'll be like other. I feel like when I send you, like if I send you guys something, like if I send you guys a press release, you guys you'll take what I say in the email, right? But like you'll listen to it, form your own opinion on it, and that's what you write. But there are some people who will literally copy and paste the email,
the whole thing.
Like, like obviously you need to give them a bio to know who you are, but they'll copy and paste the bio they'll take the picture you sent them and that's what they'll put up. They might not even listen to it at all. So like, and if that keeps happening, it's like, it shows that like they might, like he said, they're doing it to be edgy. They're not really paying attention to what's actually happening, especially not with the idea of like maybe them using their own initiative to do something else for like someone who's coming up later in the future. It's kind of just like, oh, okay, I'll just post it. That's it. And
it's
people
so
can see that, like,
because they just need like one dude in there, like
just one guy.
Just one guy.
Like, just one guy.
But I feel like it's
like, I'll do it.
I will quit music. I will
quit music.
I feel like, see, like everywhere in the world, hip hop music is the biggest music right now.
Yeah.
So it's not about the supply being bad or like the demand, and the demand is also really huge because like you look at your friends' playlist, no matter what kind of fashion taste or culture taste your friend has, they listen to a lot of hip hop music. Even if it's someone like Juice WRLD or Kendrick or like
hip hop there.
Anyone is hip hop. But I feel like here, and it's due to parts like platforms or whatever, there's not the same demand for Irish hip hop. But it's not because the music isn't good. They literally just probably don't know about it.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You can hear like a 7dope track or a BoyW1DR track. And you're like, if you never knew the name, you go, oh, what American artist is this?
I know, right? Yeah, for sure. Like,
but you tell them it's Irish and they're like...
You don't know that I'm a 20-minute walk from around the corner. Like,
literally.
But fully, like, it's just about, like, fucking promotion. Like,
oh, man, it's nuts. Like,
it's crazy.
Because, like, even when you think about, like... Because when you think about even, like other music... Like, I think because part of the problem might be essentially that like Ireland has like a lot of like love for like rock and like folk and like all that sort of stuff. So I guess all those people that have got jobs in those sorts of bigger institutions have come up through that lane, and like that's what got those publications like there. If you know what I mean. So like I guess only time will kind of tell like when like new people start going in. But like as you you said there, like hip hop being like literally like undeniably like the most popular genre, and like even when you think about like we were talking about before, like Ariana Grande's last album is like very heavily like trap inspired.
She went from...
Do you know what I mean?
She went from, what song was it? Those old songs. She went from
I know
whatever to My Neck, My Back. That's Soulja Boy.
Literally like...
But actually, I think thinking about it now, I think another thing that we need is like time. Yeah. So like for example, like, and it's not even like a race thing in terms of like, let's say for example, black people came here in like, I want to say like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. So us making music, but even like everyone like kind of like our age, we're not necessarily old enough to be the editor of The Sun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So the people who would be, if they listen to any rap, it would be like old school boom bap stuff, but that's not exactly what we're making right now. It's kind of like we're making what the youth are listening to right now, but there's no one who is part of the youth, who is the head of their, not now. But like, for example, let's say if in the next 10 years, you become the head of Columbia in Ireland, you become the head of whatever magazine is like the biggest in Ireland at the time, you'll know like what is in tune. Like for example, I think I was watching, was it you? No. Was it you who's interviewing the guy who does Knockin' Stockin', or was that?
No, that was Mabfield.
That was Mabfield. Yeah. So for example, it was with Eric as well, and they were like and the guy, like, obviously no offense to him, like he might have just never come across it, but he didn't know about Irish drill.
Yeah,
and Irish, but like the Irish drill, and so he asked what is it, and Craig was like, Irish drill, like they'd get like way more viewers than like every Irish artist except for like maybe Kojak,
literally.
But they get the biggest, like, but like he is the head of like booking for a festival and one of the biggest festivals in Ireland, and he doesn't know about probably one of the biggest genres in the country right now in terms of hip hop music, which is arguably the biggest genre in the world right now. Bro. So it's kind of crazy, but like obviously in 10 years, when that's you or me or him, we'll know about drill, we'll know about trap music that's coming out in Ireland, we'll know about boom bap, we'll know about pop music, we'll know about everything that the youth are listening to. So we'll kind of be able to give a more I don't know, maybe objective opportunity to everyone kind of coming up right now. So at the time, so I feel like just time is one of the big things we need.
That's a really good point.
I feel like what you were saying, based off that, I remember I read like there was a blog list about like the top 20 like Irish songs, not like the one from last year, the one for like, I think it was like a midway point, the best Irish songs to come out this year.
This year is like so far,
and
or something.
Yeah, but like it was basically like they were like, oh, we'll do a split, so there'll be like 4 rap songs, like 10 folk songs, and then, but like even that said, going through the list, like for every artist, that you could tell who they cared about, and they would do like the write-ups and describe the song and put the link. And then like number 20 was, fucking like JB2.
Yeah, JB2.
And not like, it's not about like the quality, but I guess the impact. Like he had a song and it has like 6 million views on YouTube
like,
now.
It's almost 10.
It was a song where, you know Rush?
I actually don't, man, even. I don't think
He's
Rush from
huge,
the UK.
like,
He's a drill artist.
Yeah.
But the song basically has like 6 million views. And within like the first 2 days, it had like 1 million. But like
it was like trending
if you
on
are on
like
YouTube Music Ireland, it will come up on trending because it doesn't matter what it is, it will come up on trending. So I find it hard to believe that people don't know about it. I feel like they choose to ignore something like that.
Yeah.
Because no matter who you are, no matter, like let's say I dislike Jedward. I knew about Jedward.
Exactly.
You get me? Like I knew about Jedward. But I feel like certain people choose what narratives to run and what to discuss. Because you can't, like let's say tomorrow I uploaded like a folk song or maybe like a rock song. Even if it was horrible, if it got 1 million views in 2 days, you must know this. You must know this.
Write about
but
it.
when they were doing the write-ups in number 20, they were like, and without it was like, when like it's like, oh, and we also forgot to mention, oh, JB2, 6 million views, link up.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh yeah, nice chill song, yeah. And then they were like, and then like even like 2 weeks ago I was seeing on Twitter and it was like, oh my god, guys, have you heard about Irish drill? When it's like
it's been like for how
2
long?
years.
Yeah, literally
getting the most views from the country.
People rack up like even like Officer, like within Naruto.
Yeah.
The remix with KSI got like 1 million in a week.
Yeah, easy. Like,
and then they're like, have you heard of Irish drill? As if it was something that they found.
I know.
Not like it came to them.
Yeah.
And they just, I don't think it's about the actual quality of the music. I just feel like music that makes impact should be rewarded.
Yeah, for sure.
And should be recorded at least. And then obviously there's quality and there's this and that. Yeah. But I feel especially with like bigger publications, they choose what and what not to like put out there.
Yeah. I guess like it's like really it's like hidden in plain sight almost. You know what I mean? It's like as you say, it's like doing serious numbers. Like
even with the radio, like
I was gonna say,
no disrespect to any of these guys, but it's like you can listen to the radio in the UK and you hear songs, you can hear underground songs doing well on the radio. They go all the way to find them. But in Ireland, you can obviously say who in Ireland you like their music. Even people you don't like, you can say that they make music that does numbers or whatever.
That would fit in.
But you can't be on the radio and they're still playing Flow Rider 2007 rap songs. You can if you also put them enough effort into finding new music.
Yeah,
but you can't be ignoring someone emailing you about their new song that they know is a hit.
Yeah,
and you're like
substituting that for Flow Rider.
And next on Spin 1038 is I don't know.
Ayaz replay.
Ayaz
replay. Like,
hey, come on.
That was a banger. That was a banger. Let me know. I'll give you that. That was a banger.
I don't know. Vanilla Ice. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah, I think just time.
Yeah, no, for
like
sure.
I said, like I can't. And of course, there's still people. There's still people trying. Like, there's like the people who. There are still people getting radio play. Like there's nothing wrong with being at the top. There's nothing wrong with. You have been rapping as long as Tebby Rex, Jafaris, Hair Squid, and Reggie Snow have, so now you're the one getting plays. The people who are at the head, you've been rapping for so long that now they've noticed you.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just gonna take time.
For sure.
And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we need to wait for people to get swapped and people to lose their jobs and other people to, but like it just takes time for you to get noticed with anything.
That's part of it too, yeah.
Exactly.
Wait,
so
even if you look at it like this way, these people are the tastemakers. If I play, let's say like, if I played 100, like let's say I was given 100 songs to play for my 2-hour set, and I played only rock music the whole way, no matter who you are leaving that day with a new rock song.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if you said, I hated all these songs.
I hated 99.
You
one of them was
had to sit down and listen to 2 hours of rock music. And they know it's not like hip hop isn't profitable, because or else how did it go all over the world? Yeah. So they know like in Ireland, the same model could be applied to get the music. Like, you're not gonna, like, some people will hear it and turn it off, but you know you're making more profit than loss, so why are you refusing to do what is better for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Or else, if it wasn't like that, Longitude would never change the entire lineup to
exactly.
Yeah,
but then there was another thing about that. Did you notice that like the 2018 Longitude lineup had so many more Irish acts than the 2019? And I didn't understand that, because like, wouldn't you save more money booking Irish art? Like, and they probably don't even care about money, but they probably just want a bigger Longitude. But like, for example, at the same time, I'm sure that they probably did way better this year than they did last year. But I think someone told me, I thought it was Longitude, but someone told me that actually the biggest the biggest Irish festival is
Electric Picnic.
Electric Picnic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And I think who's the biggest rap act? I think it was J Hus
at
Electric Picnic this year, wasn't it?
I think Skepta's Forbidden Fruit.
I think it was J Hus because I know it was Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish was there.
Billie Eilish, yeah, if you count.
J Hus wasn't there from the start. They just added him.
Yeah, so like
I feel like they had to have.
It was someone else.
No, I'm pretty sure because I remember my friends from work
was
going
crazy.
like, actually, let me check it now. I'm pretty sure.
That shit. I think like the reason for the Longitude lineup having more Irish artists last year than this year was probably because Longitude obviously realized that hip hop does better.
Yeah.
But I don't think they realized the distinction between Irish hip hop and hip hop in terms of how you can promote it.
Yeah.
Because they obviously can't promote whoever they put on their lineup like out of nowhere. You have like 3-4 months to sell the tickets. Yeah. But they probably thought like, oh, since we've done this next year, the media will probably push it more. But I don't think it really happened.
Yeah.
So they had to obviously reduce the amount of Irish artists, I feel.
I just think they need to like maybe like reuse like some of the space a little bit better. Like when they have because they have like even this like the smaller stage, like the Heineken there's like the small Heineken stage beside the tent.
Yeah,
like that did like good. Like they had like Evans Jr. and like DJs from like Sicko and like they had some stuff, but like that could have been literally filled with like so many names and like kind of like structured in that way where if it was more like say like that set last night where it's like this is the artist who's on and it's like because that stage was more DJs than artists, but it had the capacity to be like all live and marketed that way.
Exactly.
And there's like the 3 arena or the 3 elevation stage as well. It's like exact same there. And then I think they had like some sort of I didn't go to it, but this year they had like some sort of like greenhouse or something behind the main stage, sort of. When you go like down by like all the food trucks, like to on the left hand side. I didn't go down because the queues were always huge.
Was that the one where Saweetie was performing? Like, is it a tent?
I think it was. It probably was. I didn't get down to it.
Elevation.
Oh, that was the elevation.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. There was something in there. It was like a spin 103.8 thing. But I was thinking, man, imagine if they had like you performed that the free gaff, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like if they had like Red Bull free gaff in there.
That could be crazy.
That would be sick.
That could be crazy. But I also feel like, and I don't know if I'm wrong, but who books people for Electric Picnic? Is it MCD?
Doxed. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think it's MCD.
Is it MCD?
Yeah,
that's weird because I know MCD are like really, really good for like hip hop.
Yeah,
like, they're really, really good for that. So like, when I genuinely saw it, I thought it was like maybe it's like a completely different group of people who are like assigned to maybe one festival and assigned to another. But like from when I saw like the acts, because I remember 2 years ago. The biggest hip hop act was Kendrick, and it was only Kendrick. It was like Kendrick, Mumford and Sons, I think, and like maybe like I don't know, like some bands and stuff like that.
Even this year is similar, like
exactly. But then it completely switched, and it was like all hip hop. It was Travis Scott, Migos. That year was amazing. Like that was the first year that I went to.
Same.
Yeah, and then obviously this the one that just went by as well is Lil Baby, Gunna, Future, Juice WRLD. Like. It was like really, really good for hip hop. I just wish that it could have been like just as good for Irish hip hop as well. But I guess if you think about it, all the same. It kind of goes back to what we're saying. Like obviously, no disrespect to everyone. Like you've been doing your thing for so long that of course you'll get noticed. But it was kind of all the same names.
Yeah.
Even in terms of the Irish, like obviously there was some new people who came up. Like obviously Nilo has just been putting in too much work to not get noticed. I don't know if like the likes of like Big Pig was performing, but she's been putting in too much work to not get noticed as well. But like apart from like the little standouts, and maybe that's exactly why they've been putting in so much work. They had to get noticed. Maybe that's what's required. But like I felt like there was a lot of names and a lot of new up and coming artists who could have
for sure
performed. Like I feel like it doesn't always need to be the same names, kind of like doing the thing. But like I don't know. I guess if you work hard enough, MCD will notice you and they'll book you for something like that. It's a process, but time.
It is
I think that's what's needed. Yeah,
but I feel like I think like actually the way to phrase this in a way that actually is the least disrespectful, but like surrounding the whole like publicity and promotion, because that's the main way things get noticed. I feel like see people like I don't know like like Bida De Silva or like Tara Stewart that go out their way to play this type of music on the radio. If that shouldn't be like a oh wow they do this, even though they do this, it's very good that they do it. But if everyone met their minimum standard, then I think everything would shape up a lot better.
True.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if they did, I think those two people like them would have more leeway to play even more music, and that would still be their thing.
Yeah.
because when you're looking for who to send music to, you don't go, oh, let me send it to this guy in charge of the rock shit. You go to who you know would play it.
Exactly.
But that would still be those two. But if everyone kind of had that mindset, those two could still do their thing. It's what they do.
For sure.
But everyone would benefit more.
Exactly.
I feel.
Like it actually, that's actually really good because like when you're sending press, and I don't know if other artists would agree because some people just send their stuff to anybody, but you kind of know, like you're not going to send it to, you're not going to send an email or a DM to the Irish Times. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to send. You're going to send it to. You're going to send it to Sold Out. You're going to send it to Dristic. You're going to send it to Slight Motif, maybe Beta Silva, Tire Stew, stuff like that. But like, I don't feel like there should necessarily be like, okay, these are the hip hop people.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to get radio play, you want to get write-ups, this is who you go to. I feel like everyone should display a level of acceptance to Irish hip hop that there is no restriction on who you can send your music to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and obviously, like people have their link for or send music here, but like there should be a level of we actually write up about it. We actually play it to the point where you're sending it for good reason. You actually believe that if your music is good enough, it will be posted on these places.
Exactly,
you will get write-ups on these places. It will be played on these radio stations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's just, again, I feel like
it's exciting time. Yeah, like, like I mean, when you say it though, it's going to be exciting in a few years when like it does start, like, because like that snowball is in motion and it's just like gaining traction. Like,
it's definitely on the way there.
I suppose circling back, man, like when you first started, like what made you first like pick up the pen in the first place?
Interestingly enough, it's almost going to contradict the conversation that we were just having, but I started noticing people making moves in the Irish scene. Cool. So essentially, like, so I grew up pretty close and I started making music in and around Blanchardstown. Yeah. So artists like Nonsense Magnus, he was making music before me, and he really helped me like at the start of my career. Like he really like, because we went to the same studio. Like he wasn't really in there a lot because he's really like he produces, he makes his own beats, but he used to mix and master his own stuff. Yeah. So he was only in there to like recording guest stems essentially, but I was in there to recording guest stems, and it was because he was mixing and mastering all stuff that I downloaded FL and I started to do mine as well. Yeah. But we were in and out there at the same time. But just me seeing artists like Chris Cabs was pretty big at the same time as well, and I went to his studio a couple of times. Yeah. And just seeing the people were actually making, like I didn't even know that you could put your stuff on Spotify. Like I thought you needed to be signed to get your music on Spotify and iTunes. But like just people like them kind of showing me that it can be done. And that's also when I first discovered like District. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, you're getting write-ups on magazines for rap music. Like that's what I want to do. Yeah. So I was like, yo, you get me? Like I was like, I was like, yo, where's the closest studio? My friends, there was one in Blanchardstown. It was in like it was called Feroga. It was a youth center like built into the side of a school, secondary school. And yeah, my friend Jeremy, he was kind of like one of the like youth leaders. He signed up. He was like helping it was kind of like a youth center. So like the kids like.
Man, I swear someone else has shouted out this spot as well.
It was probably Nonsense. Have you?
Yeah, I've interviewed Nonsense, but I feel like it was too long ago for me to.
Where is it? Blanchardstown?
Yeah, it's in Blanchardstown. It's near I think the school is Satanta, but it's like it's in Blanchardstown anyways, like in and around like the Clonee area ish. And but yeah, it's just, and my friend Jeremy, who's his friend, but he's a few years older, he's like Nonsense's age. He was like kind of like an older, and he kind of like showed me like stuff to do in terms of mix and master, like adding reverb and EQing and stuff like that. And he was doing my vocals for the longest time under that old name that will not be mentioned. He was exactly. But he was essentially just helping me, and that's basically when I saw that people were actually able to do it from here, because I always thought that like it would never happen, like Ireland would never really have a music scene, because back then it was all like EDM and house music and stuff that I was listening to, because you know when you go to like
I was gonna say that, man, though, like it's funny because like we kind of forget, but like I think like the average person in Ireland probably listens to like a lot more techno than we think. If you know what I mean. That's the thing.
Like we witnessed this transition, because I remember like junior night, leaving certain night, it was like Rice, Quins, it was EDM, it was like DJ Tiesto, it was Calvin Harris, it was EDM. Do you remember Skrillex, Bangarang, Cinema? Like it was, those were the songs. Bangarang. Oh no, people remember Bangarang, but that's what it was. But we literally witnessed the whole transition of it, kind of slowly turning into like hip hop, grime, drill, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Listening to alternative music, but yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. yeah, like all my friends growing up listened to techno, like,
Yeah.
and now I'm seeing them all, like when I catch up with them now, they listen to like Kendrick and whoever, like it's mad.
I feel like the biggest person who I saw made that transition was actually my little brother. Because because obviously like a lot of people like in around like 2012, like with like Odd Future, a lot of people started switching over. With like the ASAP Mob, a lot of people started switching over. Obviously Kendrick Cole, Drake, and everyone.
Yeah.
But like I remember when I was switching over, my generation was switching over, he was still listening to techno and stuff like that and telling me, oh no, rap music is trash, this is what's good. But then I think one time, because he's young, so I think it was drill, but he was like, yo, have you heard that like 6-7 Harlem, or like Harlem Spartans 6-7, have you heard that new, or something like that? Or because I know it wasn't like American music, it was like grime or drill or just some like really like young music or whatever. He was like, yo, have you heard this? And I was like, no. And he actually kind of put me on drill a little bit, because I wasn't really paying much attention to it. But then now he's transitioned to like listening to rap and like stuff like that. But yeah, the transition is slowly changing, because like even with him, he's 16, but like he was like sharing my stuff on his story, and even his like friends, like his age, like people his age, came out like last night. Yeah, because now they listen to trap music now. That's like they're listening to trap music, and I'd be like their favorite artist, and that's so crazy to me, because I remember it feels like just yesterday he was listening to techno and EDM, and he didn't care for rap music. So it's really changing, and it's gonna change a lot with time. Like when the youth grow up and they actually get into positions of power, there will be a scene, like there will be an industry. It will be huge. But I guess artists like me, artists like my age, are just hoping that time comes a lot sooner than later. I don't want to be like 8 studio mixtapes in before there's an Irish label signing rap artists. But like,
man. Like Gucci Mane like approach. Like,
exactly.
Like
8 mixtapes every 2 months, a mixtape before there's a label. But yeah, man. And I suppose like you know, like when you first like started getting into it and stuff, did you like, because like as we're talking about, it's not like like there is the biggest track record for it, so people might not understand. Like, did you face any like sort of like stigma and stuff when you were first putting out music? Like, for both of you even, like, of course. Like, what's like if you weren't, because you can hear how I'm talking now, right? Obviously there's like a little bit of like Irish in it, but like this is how I talk, and I feel like it translates into the music that I make. So, but for the longest, like, you know, it's like if you didn't have like a thick Dublin accent or whatever, like it wasn't.
Yeah. Do you think people like got at you for that, or?
Yeah, like people didn't think I was an Irish artist.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah. No, like people thought I was like American. Like they thought that I don't know where they thought, because I don't really like.
You're like from Limerick, I'm Blanchard.
Yeah, I'm from Limerick, I'm from Blanchard. I live in like, where's the I didn't get it. Like I don't know, because it's just how I talk. But people who knew me like understood that I rap like this. But but like I felt like after I had to like overcome that stigma, and that's partly I think why I called it the Irish WonderBoy, because I had to let everyone know it wasn't even like purposefully planned, because I feel like I am the Irish WonderBoy. Like that is me. But like I feel like I just had to let that be there to be known, that like regardless of whatever you hear, you might think, yo, this sounds just like American trap, but it's Irish. Yeah. He's rapping with like an American artist or whatever, but I'm Irish. Like this is the story of an Irish artist blowing up and becoming an international superstar. Yeah. So, but yeah, I felt like I faced a lot of stigma. Like obviously, if you weren't, like I said, like, and it also felt like it was really corny to say that, like, you know yourself, like it was so corny when you were growing up to say that, yeah, you write rap. Like, oh,
yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Like those first like SoundCloud tracks.
Yeah,
and stuff,
like, yo, check my. Do you know how like how it was to like try get someone to like, because that's when the memes started.
Exactly.
Do you know the SoundCloud memes, like the trash SoundCloud memes? To tell someone that you also have a SoundCloud was the hardest thing you could do. Like it made you not want
try having a podcast.
Oh, you get me?
It's like, hey guys, please listen to my song.
Please listen to my SoundCloud. I felt like I was passing out mixtapes, man. It was crazy. But yeah, I feel like that's something that like will always be around. Even with me calling my EP the Irish WonderBoy, and with the music that I'm coming out, and even like because there's always going to be people saying negative stuff, but I feel like now I've done it, not that I've done enough, but I feel like I've call me the whatever established or whatever the word you want to use for where I'm at
just
right
even
now.
Gain confidence, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Just gaining confidence. Like I'm very confident in being Irish. Yeah. So it comes across in my music now. Whether you find that or you don't, it's who I am. So yeah.
I think my approach to that isn't really like, I'm not gonna go out my way to show I'm Irish. I feel like that's also kind of crazy in a way. Like he's not going out of his way, but he's letting them know what he thinks. But I feel like certain people get bogged down in how Irish they should be. But I feel like what you identify as is what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, like you'll notice true music I'm going to put out that I reference places I feel I relate with. I mention places in Ireland, you'll see Irish like references in the bars, in the hooks,
but
and whatever.
Not like the whole thing. Like
it doesn't, like your personality shouldn't be I am an Irish artist. Because in America they don't force, like you see, like if you listen to music, you'll be reciting lyrics of places you've never been to. Not because it's cool, but because the person who made the song feels that place is cool.
That's it, like
And not because they want other people to think it's, because that's just what they know. Like even like the UK, they be like, Dave, yes, Streatham. Not because, I hope they love this Streatham song. It's like I grew up in Streatham. Like, So like
even like Devlin, like always trying to Dagenham,
they
like,
always say where they're from,
like,
and not because they put the place on. People know the place because of them. So it wasn't because the place was already established.
Exactly, like
they just be mentioned in the places. So I feel like just through the music, just live what you are, live what you've been growing up in, and people will notice where you're from. And if someone can say, "Oh, you're not Irish," or "You don't have the accent," or whatever, you don't need to have one thick North Dublin accent to be an Irish artist, I guess. Yeah, just that's like that, to be honest.
That's fair. Like,
Nonsense just messaged me there. He just heard my project for the first time.
What do you
think?
He said that he goes, it's actually crazy because do you remember I was saying
shout out Nonsense?
Like, shout out Nonsense.
Come back on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But he said I've really grown artistically. Because like he's been, like I said, he's been there from the start, and he really, really helped me a lot. And he noticed that there was a Nestle feature on that. Exactly. He's just like, congratulations. It's really good to see you creating your own name. Yeah, that's big, bro, man.
That's it, man.
Because like that's because, like I said, Blanche, like if you hear at the start of the EP, it's all aboard the D15. On the way.
I know. I picked that up like like after I did the write up, and I was like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you asked me where. You're like, oh wait, D15. Yeah. No, but yeah, he's from around Blanche as well. He's D15 as well. So it's like it's really it was really, really good. And I feel like he was really, really instrumental in terms of like helping me and showing me that it was possible to kind of be making music from Ireland. Because like I said, he was around the way. I was there. I wasn't from like, I actually lived in Cabra at the time. But all of my friends and everybody who I hung out with was from Blanche. So literally, if I was going out, get the 39A right down to 70, whatever it was. So I was there all the time. So it was really, really good to have him around, help me show me the ropes a little bit and stuff like that. So,
yeah, for sure, man. He has it figured out. Like he's so slept on.
Yeah, he's like, so slept on. But I feel like he doesn't even necessarily care because he's so in his own world, doing his own thing. You can't say that Nonsense sounds like nobody.
I know, man. Literally anybody, like
anybody at all. He's always doing his own thing, and I really respect him for that.
Yeah, and it goes back to like, man, I just wish like even like some UK mag or like some like random ass thing would just like happen that like people like him would just get that, because he's doing like shit that's just as creative and just as
exactly like, even more so at the like a lot more of the time more creative. Like you can like there'd be like you can go to the UK
with no budget, like
you can go to the UK and you can find 10 artists that sound alike. For everyone, like you can find a lot of artists that sound like J-Host, a lot of artists that sound like Notes, Skepta, Stormzy, but no one sounds like Nonsense.
Yeah, man, it's nuts.
Like there are some artists from here that nobody sounds like. There's some artists from here that like, and even if maybe they sound like someone, you can only maybe find like one artist. Like I remember we were talking about stuff like alternative music, right? We were having this discussion in the studio. And for artists like Tyler the Creator, right? Say for example, you want to find like
another Tyler song, like
if you want to find if you want to rap like Tyler, and you want to do it via type beats, you literally have to type in Tyler the Creator type beat. There is no other type beat that you will find a Tyler beat.
True,
And there's so many artists like that have like distinct, like for example, you might need to search like maybe Just Chance and maybe I don't know like Samfire or something to have like that choir influence in the beat or something like that. But then there'd be so many artists where it's like you search their type beat, but it is the same type of beat that
like
all
Lil Uzi, Playboy Cardi,
Lil Uzi, Playboy Cardi, stuff like that. And even though they're very distinct, it's kind of like they're still kind of closely knit together type of thing. But like I said, like there's so many talented people, Nonsense included, that obviously Nonsense included, that that are just they deserve. I feel like there's always that conversation about like if you were in America, would you have blown up yet? And I feel like he's one of the people who I can distinctly say yes, he would have. So yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah, for sure. How did the like Nestle feature actually how'd that come about?
The Nestle feature came about. I was literally on, because I knew that I wanted a feature. We were actually having that conversation. And we were like, because I was talking to because does like A&R and stuff like that, and he goes through Kato. Whoops. He goes through A&R and stuff like he goes through A&R and stuff like that with all of the artists. And I said that I wanted a feature because I didn't want to force no features. It was going in that direction. And I talked about it with him on some, if I was to get a feature, what do you think? And he was like, get it from an artist who isn't, if you want to get one who isn't from here, so that there's like a level of, because you can make music that is the quality of professional artists.
Yeah.
But people will still tie you to being local. Like when people are too familiar with you, they won't really put your music on the same pedestal. Like I could potentially make better music than Drake. But because if I'm not Drake, people won't ever see me as ever better than Drake. So he was like, get it from an artist who is a lot bigger, very established, so that while the quality's there, because this artist is always also there, it will tie you into like a higher playing field, essentially. And I've just been a fan of Nestle for like the longest time, like since he was just like a SoundCloud rapper, and SoundCloud rap was like starting, like Uzi, Cardi, Yachty were like when Yachty dropped like One Night, because Yachty and him had like mutual friends and they were still like pretty close, and he was just dropping like songs on SoundCloud, and I found him, he was one of the first SoundCloud rappers that I was listening to, like the likes of him, Night Lavelle, Lil Yachty, just SoundCloud, Suicide Boy, stuff like that, just stuff on SoundCloud that I was just listening to.
That's sick.
And I've watched him like obviously grow as an artist, make music with the likes of Young Bands, Ski Mask, just amazing artists. His music has gotten so much better. So I was like, I just contacted him, I sent him the song, and he was just willing to work. He sent the feature. I remember we were all in
oh my
god. We were I was waiting on the feature because I was just super nervous because I didn't think he'd agree to it, right? But we were all sitting in NCI, wasn't it? We were in the NCI compute rooms, right? We go to those compute rooms, like we just be chilling in there, like doing up, like not a lot of the stuff that we do that comes from like Fire was probably done in there, like the editing videos, we do a lot of stuff in there. We were just all chilling in there, and I got it in my email, and I was like, oh my God, I just got the verse. Yeah. And I didn't want to hear the first. I was like, nah, I don't want to hear. Because like, you're always nervous getting the feature from a bigger artist, because they don't necessarily, like, it's not their music. Yeah. So they don't necessarily need to put their all into it. It's a feature. You get me?
They could like fuck you over.
Yeah, they could really, like, they could fuck you over. Like, they could send you just whatever. But Kato was like, nah, just give it to me. I'll play it out loud. I'll play it off the speaker, because he always has a speaker with him. And I was like, okay, cool. And we even recorded a video. We put it on the Fire Instagram page. Follow that, actually. Fire _collective. Fire _collective. Follow that. FAR and then _collective. But he posted it. It's down now, obviously. But he posted it. And we recorded the video. And it was literally a video of all of our first reactions to listening. I was screaming. Because I was like, that is my favorite Nestle verse. Yeah. Like he didn't need to go in. You get me? Like he really, really didn't need to go in. It was at a point where like people were like, so you're gonna rewrite your verse? Cause like and I was like, nah, it's good enough. It's good, it's solid. I don't need to rewrite. But yeah, he just went in, and it was super, super crazy. That's sick, super crazy. Well, Nestle, his management, everyone, they're super, super nice, that's super awesome, accommodating. Man. They're really, really cool with it. So, yeah.
Do you want to talk about like Fire Collective as we wrap up, like how it all came about?
Well, I wasn't really one of the original members of Fire. I kind of joined later. When my song, okay, so I can tell you how I joined Fire, and then he can tell you how Fire started, because he was around since the start. But how I joined Fire was that I was doing singles, obviously. I had Last Night, Sleeping, Nightcrawler, and I think it was my 4th single, Finesse, with Denny Valentino. Yeah. So essentially, it was actually hilarious. So I think I kind of touched on it in the other interview.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, but I sent it. So basically, I sent him Nightcrawler, and I sent him Nightcrawler because I wanted to get a verse on it. But he was just like, I heard some of his music before, and I was fucking with his music, but I was just kind of like, yeah, send me a verse, but like in my opinion at the time it was just taking too long, and I was like, I had no label, I had no one kind of telling me what to do. It's literally just TuneCore, €10. The song is up the next day. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna put it up now. Like it doesn't really, like I didn't really matter. And he was kind of looking at us, so I'm like, what? Like why did you do that? But then I was like, oh no, it's calm, because I have another song that I feel like you probably even suit better on. And that was Finesse. So I sent him Finesse, and he sent over a verse, but there were some things that I wanted him to change. Like he had his own home setup, but I don't think it was what it was now. Yeah. And it just like sounded a lot different. Like some parts were muffled, and I was like, can you actually just re-record it? Yeah. But he was like, his home setup is like, it's not working right now. And that was like, obviously I could see, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just never kind of got back to it. But it was actually my girlfriend at the time. I used to always send her my music, and I sent it to her, and she heard it, and she was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's that guy, Denny Valentino from Peculiar Flex." And she was like, "This verse is really, really good." And I was like, "You think so?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's amazing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, because she knew it wasn't finished, it wasn't mixed, it wasn't mastered, nothing like that. She was like, "Where's the finished version?" And I was like, "Oh no, I was just gonna go studio and do it myself." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "Why didn't you get him to redo it?" And I was like, "Oh, his studio said it isn't working." She was like, "Bring him to the studio with you and let him do the verse. This is amazing." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah, like this is actually amazing." And I was like, "Okay." So I just texted him and I was like, "Yo, I'm going down to the studio. You said your setup isn't really working right now, so come true, and then we'll lay it down in the studio." And he was like, "Cool." And then we linked up for the first time. And I was in the process of like getting some equipment for me, like just equipment that I thought I should have. I was gonna get a camera and like some camera stuff, like camera gimbal stuff like that, some lenses to start shooting stuff like that. And I was like, he told me that he was part of Fire Collective, and I was like, "Yo, we could do like a thing where like I'm gonna get the stuff anyways, but like if we like work it out, it can be like a dual thing." But he basically went back to talk to the rest of the members, and they were like, "Yo, he can actually like be a part of Fire type thing." And so I joined, but it was kind of like I was just joining to see what was going on. But then like literally a day in, it was like family.
Worked out.
So like, it worked out. It was the smoothest transition in music history. It became family like immediately. So yeah, these are my brothers now. So
that's sick, man. So how did it all start? How did you?
Shit. Okay. Basically, yeah. Like I know people like oh wow, that's crazy.
You get me?
Yeah. You need a beep there. Like, need a beep. But people like BoyW1DR and that, like they've been making music for a while, but like they've gone through like rebrands or whatever. Yeah. But I feel like so basically like Danny, Kato, Kyle, and like maybe like Iwanya as well. They were like they've always been interested in like really rapping, but like there wasn't like a direction to it. They were like, okay, let's just see what's going on. And I'm just one of their friends. Like I'm really cool with them. So I was like, hey, what you guys doing? They're like, yeah, we rap. And I was like, that's crazy. Because I wasn't rapping. I didn't know nothing. This was like a year ago. I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. So like, I was like, yo, let me be in this. And they were like, no. And I was like, but like, come on. So then they just like, they added me to the group chat. And we were just chilling in it for a few months. I was just trying to learn how to rap, you get me? But like, Denny, I already knew Denny's really good. Kato's really good. But Kato was like, he doesn't see just doing music as his endpoint. He would like to like manage or go into like other types of media. So I was like, oh, I can't rap. Do you want to manage me? And he was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, sweet. But like, shit, I'm not putting out no music. So then Danny and Ayo put out this one song called Presidential, like September last year. And I was like, yeah, this is really cool. This is a really good, it's a really good song. But I was like, I still can't rap. So now we're going on. And I think like the new year comes and I feel like I'm getting better. But like the whole like kind of, we're like, okay, we need a name for this because it's like we've started the year. We're like, okay, let's actually do something with it. And then Iwanya was like, yo, just like call it Fire. And I was like, crazy. I was like, what the fuck does this mean? There's a meaning for it, but like I can't say it. Like, I feel like it's a thing you will kind of like find out. It's like Easter eggs in like Marvel movies. You stay along to the end, you'll find out. So like, I was like, okay, I was getting like better. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try a song. And like, Danny was killing shit with like Peculiar Flex, Presidential, and him and BoyW1DR were like linking up. They were discussing. So I came up. I was in his house one time to record something. I was like, okay, I want to record this song. And like him and Ayo were recording something. And I was like, this isn't really like working out. Let me find another beat while they're like mating around. So I found the beat for Independent. And I was like, okay, let me just start writing. So I wrote the verse. And I was like to Ayo, I was like, yo, I want to listen to this. And he was like, yo, this shit slaps. So then he was like, okay, let me add my verse. And I was like, wait, stop there. Let me add my shit. And he was like, yeah, let me keep going. So then we just finished the song. And we're listening and we're like, yeah, this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. So then we're like, oh, let's get it mixed. But this is like Danny's home studio. So then like we laid it out there. I came back the next day because I was like, yo, this is hard. And then Kato came back and was like, yo, let me be on this. And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, yeah, no. So then Danny's really, he's actually pretty good, like mixing and mastering. So he mixed and mastered the song. And then I was like, yeah, let's just like put it out. So we put it out and the streets were like, yeah, this is the one. And then we're like, okay, we gotta set up a page and
get
all
the whole
this
thing
shit.
going,
So this is around the same time where Finesse was coming out as well. Finesse came out like the start of the month.
Yeah.
And then Independent came out like the end of the month.
Yeah.
So that was like, it was a really strong month.
That's crazy, yeah.
And then from there, like we were getting like hit up on like, hey, do you want to perform? Do you want to do this?
For the longest over. Like people didn't know that his song was pretty much the hardest song in the streets. Like if you see like, for example, videos of us, there's this clothing line who the owner of it, OJ, the clothing line is called 1+1 Clothing. Check that out. Shout out them as well. What's their Instagram?
I think it's like 1+1 Clothing.
Yeah, 1+1 Clothing. Yeah. So shout out them. They had these like there was a pop-up show where in the first part in the first show
the one in Button Factory.
That was the second one, but in the first one, that was the first time I think we all performed together. And they had like a pop-up show where like first they would sell the clothes, which are amazing by the way, and then they basically had a concert, and we were one of the acts on there, and Independent went off.
That's crazy.
I wasn't even there. I couldn't be there.
He wasn't there. We performed. Kato did his verse, so he couldn't be
crazy.
There.
Now I was at home and I was on Snapchat like, that's a good song, you know.
It went off. But then in the second one, obviously he came through and we shut it down. If you see the videos from the second one, it was sold out. They sold out the Button Factory, and the set was just everyone there knew all of the words. All of the words. It was crazy. But yeah, we set up. They said the page was set up. All of that. We There's I don't know how like the artist like Ada Adeze came into.
She was like basically like everything is actually just by chance.
Everything's organic.
I was like I hadn't even made a song yet, but I was on the bus with Denny and she goes to her uni, and then she was like, because obviously I was like, yo Denny, like, because I was like, hey, do you want to meet today? Let's write something. And he was like, yeah, I don't mind. So then we were leaving to go into town, and we were on the bus where because we know her, but not like that. And then she was like, I rap too, and I was like, oh shit, crazy. So then I was like, let me hear something. I'm nobody, but I was like, I don't know what this is. So I was listening. I was like, why is this actually good? I was like, hey, do you want to join? And then they were like, yo, stop. You can't just be asking everyone to join. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? So then I asked, and they were like, yeah, let her join. And they were like, yo, she's sick. And I was like, why would I just say anything? Like, just asking you want to join, you get me? So then her and like my friend Blue, we brought him in. Oh man, we be bringing people in. We brought him in like, but like June or something.
A lot of the people we bring in is family. Like Blue is family. Like there were two people. Like if you saw the show last night, I have a song with Blue. I don't want to promo it now because obviously I just dropped the EP, but I was talking to you earlier and I was like, every time I make a new song, it becomes my favorite song. My song with Blue right now is my favorite song. It is amazing. But like I brought him out and he joined after me. So he's probably the newest edition, but he's always been like associated family because he had his own thing going on with some artists like Soul Sosa. Shout out to him as well. So
sick.
Amazing artist. So but he joined later, but it's always essentially just been a family thing. So yeah, like Fire is a family affair essentially, but we're trying to. I think Kato's trying to take it in the direction of like a label eventually, like when we actually get really really big. Because like we said, like when we're like people are. It's gonna take time for people to get into positions of power, and I feel like he is really really smart in terms of seeing what's up and coming and really really good, like. A lot of the time, like I know UD and me and Denny and all of the artists and stuff, we be really, really busy working on our own music. So like we'll see some things, but like we don't really have time because we're doing our own thing to like have our ears to the streets. But he has his ears to the streets. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff that I be hearing, if I don't follow that person, gets sent in by Kato on some look at what this person is doing.
Streets.
He has his ear, like he is really, really good at stuff like that. So eventually when Fire becomes a label, he will be putting artists on. Like
I respect it. I respect it
because at the same time he's also an artist. He wanted to be an artist, but we felt like, well, they felt like, because it was before I was there, he was the manager when I joined, but he's also an artist, and he essentially he felt like he had to like postpone a lot of his artist stuff because the group needed a manager, and he essentially stepped up and is sacrificing a lot of stuff for him personally, like musically, to be our manager, and he has gotten so many opportunities for us, like and stuff like that. And I'm also in the process of making the switch. Like I have my own like management thing going on, but I'm in the process of making the switch and like being like just Fire, like one of the Fire artists and stuff like that. But yeah, no, he's really amazing. But yeah, so far all the people who have joined though are essentially just family members. But soon, once we're in the position to actually do some stuff for other people who we might not know that well, he'll be on top of that.
Yeah, man.
For real.
That's sick.
But like the whole thing is family, but like it's one of those things where I really like how it works because it's always like business first, I guess.
Exactly.
But it doesn't have to be forced. Like it's not like there's people aren't just in it for like business.
I was gonna say,
but it's always
it's a good mix. Like,
I feel like
no one's just in it because they're family.
Exactly.
So if you're in it, you have to push your weight, pull your weight. But we didn't just bring you there on a business thing. We want to have fun with you too. But I feel like the main goal for the whole Fat Collective, I guess, project is that it's a collective, like, you know, like Odd Future, TDE. It's just a collective, but we are gonna make sure that you know people by name and what they sound like.
Like we are all
you get your own fans, you get everything. But doesn't mean that you might not like let's say you like my music, doesn't mean you won't like his. We just want to make sure that everyone has their own shit going.
Especially like their own fan base. Like a lot of the times, like using the Odd Future example, if you like Tyler, you'll probably like Earl and Frank's music. Probably.
You have your favorite,
but Earl, Frank, and Tyler all have very distinct fan bases that are there for different.
Even Sid with the internet.
Yeah, and Sid with the internet, exactly.
Yeah.
But they come together a lot of times for like, well, they did for the Odd Future music, and that's kind of like how.
What was the name of like what's his name? I've actually blanked out his name as well. But it's like Left Brain and Hodgie. So they had a group as well. They were pretty good. They were really good. I remember Hodgie was one of my. And Domo as well. Yeah, that's who I got mixed up with. I was like, Domo.
Domo dropped the tape as well. He had this one song with Anderson .Paak that I was in love with. They shot a video there in like a roller rink or something like that. But they're all amazing, and that's what I liked about. I feel like because we don't really copy no one, but I feel like if there was a model to describe Frat Collective, it'd probably be Odd Future in terms of we're all. Like we all work together for like the same goal, but we are all very independent, individual people doing our own thing. So it's Frat Collective.
I just think you can really expect a lot of solo music from people. Just individual, like get what their sound is like, get a feel for it. Well, that's really what it should be. So there's BoyW1DR's EP just there. There's Denny's in like 2 weeks.
Sick.
Something like
roll
that.
Out.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Something like that.
And then if I drop a song, I drop a song.
If he drops a song,
I drop a song. I hate.
That's all I'm saying.
Like, I hate releasing music so much. I hate it.
Check out like Nerves, like.
No. I just feel like, okay, how I kind of view it is like, you know, before the song is out, the song is your song.
Yeah.
But the minute it's out, it's not your song anymore. No matter how much you care about it, it's not yours.
I get you.
Because people like they rightfully pay for it and they're entitled to like but it's like someone can be like, I love this song, and you're like, I don't know you, or they like, I hate this song. You're like, I still don't know you. I still don't know you. It's so weird.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I completely understand. For the longest, I didn't want to drop the EP.
This guy was scared. He was like, said, boys, I'm going to bed. I was
like, okay, the EP drops in 3 minutes. I'm going to sleep. Good night, everybody. Tell me if it does well when I wake up. But I was terrified because for the longest, like, because it was a big step because it wasn't just like a group of songs. It was like a concept. So I was like, will people understand the concept? Will they think? Will they not believe the concept? Will they think they understand it and not like it because maybe they don't grasp it completely? Will they just not like the songs altogether? Like, because like, you know, like I don't feel like any artist knows that they're putting out bad music. But there's bad music. Do you know what I mean? Sure. So it's like, even though I have all the fire to like, not that I need anyone's okay to drop anything, but you have all the fire, you have some like ears.
Yeah,
no one exactly,
like,
and no one is a yes man at all. So like, I was confident in the quality of the music. Like obviously, I don't mind if it's not what you like listening to, but I feel like a lot of people can separate good music from music that they may not necessarily listen to. For sure. But I was just like, it's possible. There could be some people who are like, all 7 of those songs on the Irish WonderBoy EP are trash. People like that exist, but like I was just nervous because like, you know, like if it doesn't drop, no one necessarily doesn't like it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, no one likes it. But now I'm really, really happy. I love the reception that I've been getting is amazing.
Yeah, it's sick.
Amazing.
Go stream that shit.
Stream the Irish WonderBoy, BoyW1DR, BOY. Well, obviously it'll be in the title. Yeah. But BoyW1DR. Get the merch. Stream the Irish WonderBoy out now.
Have you got any plans for videos? And
yes, I'm actually shooting 2 videos, but I don't know if I want to say which ones they are on there. But yeah, I'm shooting.
Keep the eye out.
Yeah, keep the eye out.
Yeah. Do you have any shit to shout out? That song maybe?
Oh, swear. Let me just shout out a few things. Obviously, stream Independent, but that's old. Yeah. Stream Her. Of course. Stream When Harry Met Sally.
Of course.
By Adeze, Backpack Blue. Stream Little Met by Sosa. Let me keep going.
These are family members, man.
Stream S12 by 7 Toby. I love that song. I love that song. Crazy. You know Shiv?
Stream Out of Love by Nonsis and Amma.
That song
and Stream Organized Mess by Evan Shah. That is amazing.
Even these are all solid recommendations.
I need music from Timmy, man.
You get me? Timmy Rose. Timmy Rose. Stream Peculiar Flex, man.
You hear me?
Stream. These are all family members, man. Stream everybody's music.
It's crazy.
Stream more Irish music.
That's it.
Yeah. And just, I guess, just keep your eye out for more fire artists, to be honest. Just
follow the fire page.
Yeah.
Shout out your Instagram, man.
My Instagram?
Yeah, of course.
It's like _NWIKE_. Just like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, just BoyW1DR, and then again the fire page. So keep an eye out for all the artists, man. We're all exactly. We're all just dropping.
Stream Nikki. What the hell?
Oh yeah, what? Whoa. Stream Nikki. Of course. Sorry, that was Denny's. We completely forgot. Stream Nikki.
Oh god.
At least he's got last word now.
Yeah, exactly. We got everything.
Yeah. No, thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Keep doing your thing, guys.
Thank you. We will.
Don't worry.